Hi, I'm Michelle Kennedy, and this is Real Quick, a podcast featuring an essay every day, mostly. Today's essay is one I wrote a while ago. It's been fun visiting older work while I incorporate my newer stuff into this collection. I am looking forward to making an anthology of the essays read here on Real Quick. Mothers Who Sell, the essay I'm reading today, was published in salon.com. It gives an idea of what it was like working in a credit card call center on my journey to be a super normal single mom so many years ago, like 24 years ago. Ouch. I've struggled a lot over the years with finances. I never really nailed down the one job I was supposed to do that would also allow me to take care of my kids. Because I have so many children, 8 over 32 years, I have spent 32 years actively juggling kids and their needs as they grow. Some of them I have had to be home for. Others I have sent to friends for babysitting while I go to classes or work. In every case, including this one, my foray into customer retention at MBNA, a credit card company that used to be based out of Belfast, Maine, I have had my children always as my focus. Will this job give me enough benefits, pay, whatever, to support my kids? It didn't always work out, and I have spent remarkable amounts of time working part-time jobs and side hustles trying to make it all work. Something I've noticed in reading my older works has been the change in the price of things. I've always been pretty in touch with prices, as I do a tremendous amount of shopping for all those kids, and I've been pretty surprised by some of them going back. So when you hear in this essay that I made $12 an hour and was like super excited about it, well, yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, as always, enjoy today's essay. It's a little lighter from the earlier episodes this week. As we get more submissions from other writers, we will be trying to arrange our weeks with more of a theme, and hopefully some bonus episodes talking with other writers. Please visit mishkennedy.com. All of my social media stuff is there, as well as the written versions of the essays read here. You can always write me at writermisha1313@gmail.com. Please submit a piece. We'll help you record it if you like, or just comment. We'd love to hear from you. Hello? A tentative voice answers the phone. Good morning, ma'am, I say. This is Michelle from MBNA, and I'm calling to find out why you decided to give up your executive credit card. Well, the voice stammers. You charged me late fees when I was only late once in 10 years, and you were rude to me on the phone. Did we do that? My voice sounds shocked, although I am not in the slightest. Taking on a hint of Southern Belle, I proceed to clean up the damage. Oh, my goodness, the computer says we did do that, and I am just so sorry. Let me fix that for you. Tell you what, between you and me, I'll drop your interest rate 2.9%. Would that help you decide to take the card back? Really? You can do that? Got her. Signed her up. You bet I could do that. I could do just about anything if it meant the person on the other end of the phone would take back their credit card. I stretched my legs in my cubicle and waited for the computer to dial up another victim. All day long, I talked to people who had given up their credit cards in a noble effort to whittle down their debt. These were people with medical bills and house payments and college tuition, and none of that mattered to me because I had one goal in mind: to sign them back up. That was my sole duty, for I was a customer retentionist. Unfortunately for debt-ridden America, I was also quite good at it. I discovered I had a hidden talent for it, and I loved every minute I was ripping off a sucker, right up to the end. I was a sales junkie. Sweet-talking my marks, nailing a sale was one of the most delicious highs I'd ever had, leaving me hungry for another conquest. I didn't start out life wanting to sell people back things they had already given up. Since college, I had more or less subscribed to the "if it's not fun, don't do it" school of job placement. I've held many jobs: nursing assistant, Ben & Jerry's tour guide, weed puller, babysitter, bartender, restaurant owner. The list is almost endless. Through every single job, one thought stood out in my mind. How can I do this every day for the next 30 years of my life? Work is just work, Shell, my father said one evening over dinner. If it were fun, they'd call it fun. But it's not. It's work. But I was at a time in my life when I needed some security. Steady hours, steady paychecks. I had just come off months of being homeless with my 3 children, earning $2.12 an hour plus tips as a waitress with no benefits except a free meal and half-price beer. The credit card company ad sought friendly and outgoing people for a local company. It offered full benefits, childcare, tuition reimbursement, and competitive wages. I was hooked. I prepared for the interview with a $10 shopping spree at the local thrift store. I found a nice skirt and blouse and a pair of girly shoes, heels, and purchased my first pair of pantyhose since my high school prom. Getting dressed in my new apartment, completely bereft of furniture, I was surrounded by my 3 small children as I attempted to transform myself from haggard single mom into stunning corporate maven. I settled for neat and clean, dropped the kids off at their babysitters, and nervously pulled my noisy, rusted Subaru into the parking lot next to the largest black SUV I had ever seen. It turned out my first sales job was selling myself. I was awestruck by the company headquarters when I arrived for the interview. The store's high atrium was filled with the sound of a piano and illuminated by skylights and floor-to-ceiling windows. I was convinced this was the perfect company, but so were hundreds of other job applicants who responded that day to the ad. Somehow, I traded a line of bullshit for my first $12 an hour plus benefits job. I was elated. I knew I could walk down the street, and when people asked me, "What do you do?" I could say, "I work for MBNA." In my head, I was thinking, see, I'm a normal person too. I was a quick study. I easily learned the computer system and was the star student in the sales classes. I effortlessly established myself as the one to watch and was enlisted by my instructor to help some of the older ladies in my class learn how to work the computer. I was thrilled my first day out on the floor. We were partnered with other star workers and made calls the way we had been trained in class, while a veteran employee, in my case a girl of 19 who had worked there all of 3 months and made close to $35,000 a year, listened in. I was on my game. I remembered everything I was supposed to mention, from the new lower rate we were supposed to offer to the free gift for signing back up with us. I was so congenial and so friendly that my guy not only signed up, but he thanked me for my wonderful work and asked to speak to my supervisor so that he could tell her what a great job I had done. I received a company commendation certificate similar to the ones I was awarded in junior high for being in the band to hang in my very own cubicle. Getting a commendation on your first call was unheard of, and I became an instant star. The rush was almost more than I could handle. Within days, I was an addict, constantly in search of the thrill of nailing a sale. I talked to all kinds of people. I validated their concerns. I apologized for our previous ineptness. I listened, which is the secret to sales. Most people just want to vent to someone. They wanted to tell me why their credit card payments were too high and how they didn't have enough money and how they were tired of people calling them at dinner time. I was God. I fixed it all. I rearranged payments. I moved around due dates. I promised to put notations in their file saying, "Don't call at 5 p.m. I didn't do it, but I promised I would. I racked up the most numbers sold on the hardest lists. I got 3 promotions in 3 months and a raise with each. I could strut with pride in my former bar as I ordered drinks and bragged about my newfound wealth and profession. Selling became my life, my religion. I sold credit cards during dinner. I sold credit cards during breakfast on Saturday morning. I even sold quite a few during Princess Diana's funeral, not because my presentation was more enthralling, but because people would do anything to get me and my friendly faux southern drawl off the phone. It didn't matter why they signed up. It just mattered that my list got longer. I spent one particularly ruthless 20 minutes talking to a woman who had given up her card because of her medical bills. After a nice conversation, during which I was only half listening because I was waiting for the opening to make my kill, she told me that ever since she had been diagnosed with inoperable cancer, she was trying to reduce the debt she would leave behind. Still, I was prepared to bulldoze ahead. I was about to regale this poor woman with a tale of a lower interest rate designed to make her debt load easier and the insurance she could buy so that when she finally did die, her dependents wouldn't be saddled with her payments. But I caught myself. Who knows exactly why? What on earth was I doing? I couldn't go on. For the first time in my shift that day, I leaned back in my chair. I usually stood up and paced around. I told the woman that she certainly didn't need this credit card or any other. I revealed that I didn't even have a card and wouldn't consider getting one. We spent the rest of my shift talking about the evils of credit card companies and doctors. Big Brother taped every call, and so I was sure that this one was going to be on the top of the list for the next staff meeting. It didn't matter. I called in sick the next day, and I never went back. Corporations are funny, though. Even though I was promoted 3 times in as many months, no one seemed to notice that I had left. How did I know? They kept paying me for 3 months after I left. Every other week, another paycheck appeared in my bank account. I called them and told them, but they assured me that I was wrong. I kept the money and headed back to the bar, to my old job. Thank you for joining me today for another essay. If you would like to contribute a comment, a question, or an essay of your own, please visit me at mishkennedy.com. I would love to hear from you. I hope you enjoy this beautiful day, wherever and whenever you are. As my dad always said, aside from if I get up out of this chair and you may be a pain, but you're not a window, if you wake up on the right side of the dirt, you still have a shot at a good day. So there's still a shot. Take it.